Hello and welcome. It's Darius Farazande. I wanted to share this quick video about a story that actually happened to me yesterday. Those of you that saw me doing the video where I was walking down to the lake and recapping some of the energy of the week may not know that as I was walking, I actually tweaked my back really bad. And yesterday I was literally in immense pain, about a 9 with back pain. If I moved to the left or I moved to the right, it shot all the way up. It felt like somebody was just literally sticking thousands of pins inside of my back. And I thought, well, I know one thing that I can do. I can use my scalar wave laser. And I actually did. Well, I will say the first thing I tried to do was actually just plug in and meditate, send love energy to the back. But it wasn't really that effective immediately for helping me. So I broke out my scalar wave laser, and I wanted to take some time to share kind of what happened, because it's pretty miraculous. I told my producer Jan all about it, and she suggested, hey, we should tell people about this. So I think it's a great idea. So what I did was basically, and for those of you maybe that have heard of these, and we've talked about them with Paul and Lily, but you've never seen them, this is what the device looks like. It's handheld, it's really small. But basically what I did was I went in here to these settings, let's see if you can see here, and I chose to launch the setting called Unwind. And I think everyone can see that. Hopefully it's not backwards, it might be. And when I push Unwind, you can see this thing starts running. And basically what I did was I put Unwind right here. And the funny thing is I just pretty much walked around with it in my, in my belt loop like that, and I'll run it right now. And I ran it, and you don't feel any heat with this. It's a cold laser. That means it's not sending heat, but what it is sending is it's sending light. These are photon light packets of energy. What this does is it's actually sending light to the cells and tissue that is damaged, that is strained, that is stressed, that is sprained. And it is actually allowing those cells to actually regenerate energy through the form of ATP in the mitochondria. This allows them to regenerate and actually get better. It also sends nitric oxide into the cells so that it can help the cells actually regenerate and reduce pain as well. The other interesting thing that this does, well, let me tell you what happened. So I did it last night. And I immediately, within probably, I say immediately, but within about 20 minutes, I started feeling way better. And I woke up this morning, and I feel wonderful. I can go up and down like this. I can jump. I feel great. And honestly, yesterday, I couldn't do that. I was in some severe pain. So I thought I would share this for people who are dealing with pain, but there's much more to the story. Because the other thing that we talked about with Paul and Lily that's pretty cool about this is the scalar wave light. So you have the photonic light, which is the laser, but then you also have the scalar wave, which basically, if you think about the medical symbol where you have, these two waves sort of coming together, they're basically 0-point waves. They have no forward or backwards directional current to them. They basically neutralize. And this is the part that's really cool about this, because it actually erases cell memory. And what I was blown away by with what Paul has shared is that if every 7 years we basically have what doctors say is a brand new body, meaning that every cell in our body has replicated every 7 years to the point that we have a brand new body. And some parts of our body, like our eyes, actually regenerate within a much shorter time frame. So why is it that some people can have injuries for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years that just sort of go on and on and on if we have a brand new body? Well, the answer is most likely that somewhere along in that original cell DNA that got traumatized, there is a DNA imprint that gets passed along to the other cells, the new ones that come in, and they basically get in lockstep with the old cell. It's sort of like the old story, if you've ever heard it, of a family, and the wife always cut the ends off of the ham. And one day the husband said, honey, why do you cut the ends off the ham? And she said, well, I've got the best ham, in town. Why are you asking me? I do it because my mother did it that way. She always cut the ends off of the ham, and she had the best ham in town. So he calls up his mother-in-law, and he says, Miss So-and-so, why do you cut the ends off the ham? She said, well, I have the best ham in town. I cut the ends off the ham because that's the way my mother did it. She always cut the ends off the ham, and she has the best ham in town. And so he's like, well, she's still around. Let's go ask Grandma. So they go ask Grandma, well, Grandma, why did you cut the ends off of your ham? And Grandma said, oh, I cut the ends off my ham because my husband wouldn't buy me a big enough pan to fit the ham, so I always had to cut it. And it's kind of like our cells do that too in a way. They replicate these patterns, but they're not the optimal patterns. So that's the interesting theory about why it can actually help healing really, really profoundly and very different than other types of devices. Now, this is the only, from my understanding, the only digital laser that is available. And I want to share some of the different programs. Hopefully y'all can read this. This is Unwind, the first program. You can see there's an arrow on it. And under that, you have Quantum. Now, Unwind is really good for actually releasing stress and trauma, actually clearing cell memory. So if you have one of these and you haven't used it yet, or you get one, start with Unwind. That's what I used on my back. The other one, Quantum, is actually really good for helping you to deal with emotional stress and trauma. So if you, let's say, had an injury, let's say in a shoulder, and it was someplace you fell, and it wasn't like you just woke up with the shoulder pain, but you fell and something happened when you fell. There was a sense of fear, and you feel like, well, there's a physical pain here, but there's also some sort of emotional trauma. Perhaps you can use Quantum. There's a story on the internet of a chiropractor named Jim Jordan who had some teeth that weren't healing and some gum issues, teeth issues, and he was hit in the ball with a hit in the mouth with a ball when he was a kid. And he saw the baseball coming in that split second, and there was this trauma around it. So as it hit, there's also this emotional trauma. So you can run this Quantum here to not only unwind and add ATP and unwind the cell memory, but also to clear the trauma in the cell memory that is emotionally based. So it's not just the DNA memory that these cells need to, be inefficient. It's also the emotional memory. Relieve is another setting on here. Let me go to that if everyone can see that. Relieve is a setting you can use for pain. I did not use that. Maybe I should have, but that's another setting. Pleo is actually for detox and cleansing and infection. There's a story about a gentleman that had some sort of like micro infection in their blood, and this was placed on the liver with Pleo. So you're putting it, here. I'm not a doctor, so I think the liver's around here, and let it run for about 30 minutes. And the story goes that the doctor looked at this gentleman's blood, and the micro-infections had started to break up, and there was a great bit of progress made. So those are some of the different things. There's also a stress reduction, which would be Activate, or Rejuve actually is the other one that's on here, Rejuve. And then all you do is you just press the start button, and it should start going. And what happens when you do this is it begins to unwind and help you in a lot of different ways. So you can put this, let's say if you have an immune system challenge, you want to strengthen, you can put it on the thymus here. If you are having liver challenges, you can put it on the liver. Headaches here. I shared in the other video what I did that was profound was I put it right back here as well. And it really unwound a lot of deep stuff. And you can use it a lot of different ways, also at the base of the skull. And one of the things we're doing now, because this has become such a really amazing, cool area for people with pain, infections, stress reduction, who want some emotional healing, you can put it on your heart, and just if you have heart issues, you could put it on basically the unwind, or you could also do the rejuve and put it on your heart and just unwind emotional memories and trauma. But because it's been so popular and there's so many uses to this, we actually asked Paul and Lily to create a special training portal for UWealth Revolution that is now available. So if you decide to go deeper on any one of these laser packages, and they start relatively affordable. I know they're not for everybody, and so this video, if it's not for you, it's totally fine. We love you, and even in our 2-second to still point interview, I mean, there's ways that you can bring in this energy of neutrality without buying anything. But the packages start around $2,700, which is really affordable for this type of device. And I bought mine years ago. I've used it. My kids have dropped it and used it on our dog, and it still works incredibly well. But they've added a training portal because it's been so popular with all of their best trainings. The other thing is, if you see these numbers here, these numbers you can actually program in special type of frequency codes for different types of situations you're dealing with. So as you go deeper and you contact Paul and Lily, you can do custom codes based on a myriad of situations. So it's really, really exciting and really cool. And this weekend, because I have this story, I wanted to share it with you. And also, I use so many of these amazing products. They've helped me tremendously. This is what helped my mom basically be able to walk and get back out of really being in a lot of pain. She started using it, helped me last night. I feel amazing. And so if it's something that you may want, we have free shipping this weekend. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. We've opened up a really amazing training portal, and they've been going really, really fast. And so it's a great device that you can use for life and can help you. And if you also feel like, I've done this too. If I feel like a cold is coming on and I start to feel like these getting really sore or start in my throat, I'll just run it on my throat. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing in light packets, energy packets into the mitochondria, and it's actually getting my cells to activate ATP, strengthening them, rejuvenating them, getting them up to full capacity so that I can be well. And then again, you have your immune system here in the thymus. So a lot of different approaches. I just wanted to share this. It helped me tremendously. I mean, I'm feeling great, and I'm so glad I have it. So if it's something you'd like to experience or take a look at the bottom here, there's a link. You can hear other cool stories and neat things going on with Scalar and what's happening. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a great weekend. And thank you. Sorry I've been making so many videos lately. A lot of people said, hey, Darius, we want to see what you're up to. We want to see how things are going with you. I know you use a lot of this stuff, and so I want you to know I live these things, and they've been so helpful for me. And if it works for you, great. If not, just keep plugging in. All I want to do is send you love, and there's so many possibilities. We can all have a better life. No matter what's going on around us, we can make our life better. And sometimes it's just plugging in and connecting. For other people that have chronic issues or physical issues or need it, they are devices like this that are on the cutting edge of technology that we just can't find out about so much in the mainstream world. And we can do it. And my team has worked really hard to make this available for so many. So I love you. Thanks for being in my life. And we'll see you on the next UWealth Revolution session. And I hope everyone has a blessed week.